Okay, today's subject is the Feilun Ft011 and Ft012. And here's some modifications that you guys are going to have to do. Like when I got this one, the ESC was so far forward that this tube was kinked and this tube was kinked. It would have never worked. The receiver they had on this tray that this sits on, they had it stuck all the way back in the back here behind this. That's why you couldn't move this anywhere. The ESC was just there, and the zip ties they had on it, this was all loose and just in shipping it shifted all forward, and everything was all, it was a mess. You can see how I got all the wires. I don't know how you guys do your stuff, but I keep mine neat. I got all the wires run up through here. Oh, and a must. You got to put these little zip ties on here, because if one of these pipes come off, like it did on this one right here, on this boat, and it filled with water and sank to the bottom just as I got it back to shore, because I noticed that it was sinking. But I replaced all that old creamy colored, like what it comes with in here, all this creamy colored stuff. I replaced all this with this nice clear tubing, which on this boat, this has got a bigger inner diameter, so it's getting a lot better water cooling. And I got a little bit more longer hose here coming down and looping around so it don't kink to come into this side. And with it being a little bit longer, it gives it a little bit more cooling before it actually gets into the radiator for the motor, or after it comes out of the radiator for the motor and then heads towards the ESC. You see both of my boats, you can see that's my receiver up in there. I always put the receiver on the wall right there. You see that one there, and you see this one is right there. And like when I got this boat, these two cables wouldn't even come close. There was probably an inch and a half between them even making connection. Now, from moving the ESC forward, they just overlap a little bit, so there's just a little bit of slack in it when they're connected. But before, they were this far away from connecting. They had this so jacked up. All this stuff in here was all jacked up. It's like they threw it together like really fast and didn't really care. But I usually, like when I got this one, when I got the 012, I mean, look at this, it looks a lot more busy in here, you know, a lot more stuff, but it ain't really no more than what's in here. There's just more room in here. But like this one, same thing with here. I had to, when I got the new ESC, since the first one burned up, they wouldn't make connection here. There wasn't enough space, so I had to pull that forward, which in turn I had to change my tube, the way my tubing ran, and it was kinking on me, so I had to make it longer. And it's one of them things you got to do. And oh, if you notice my charger connections, see this little green bag I got left over from back in the day? It's a little green Ziploc bag. And over here I found this, because this is a little bit bigger for the 4S batteries, this charger thing. So I take and put that plastic square over that, and then push the two pieces of tape together, and it keeps the water from getting into it. See, and it keeps the water from getting into it, because that's a good place for it to short. But I just wanted to show you what I do with my boats and how I get them set up. Look how nice and clean it is. And it'll stay that way. It's all the wires are up where they're supposed to be. Everything's moved off where it's supposed to be. And I just wanted to show off my boats, man. I know a lot of you guys out there got these, and I just wanted to show them off. Oh yeah, look, because I saw this on here, and I thought, oh, well, I can do that. So I found me a spring and put me a piece on there, so it looks cool too. Oh, and on both of these boats, right in here. I don't know if you can see it, but right in here on both sides there's a little tab. There's a little square tab that sticks out. And that little square tab, see it right there? That little square tab keeps it from turning very far. And it's on both sides. So what I did is I took and I shaved off that front corner. See, I got that front corner shaved off right there. So now when it turns, oops, I gotta grab my thing. It turns a lot farther. Look at that. And the servo will turn it that far. It turns to the farthest distance of the servo. So the boat will turn a lot sharper because the Ft011 doesn't turn for crap out of the box, believe me. And I'm running mine in a canal that's about 30 feet wide most of the time, so you know, I need some turning. And I did the same thing on the 012. It had two little bumps that was right here behind these stoppers. See these little thingies here, those are your stoppers, just like on the other one. But there was two little tabs right there on the rudder itself. And I just took a razor knife, I took this rudder off, and I took a razor knife and I shaved them flat. And now, I mean, this turns, oh, this thing turns on a dime. I'm serious. This thing turns like nobody's business. It's just it can turn left and then turn right back in the same circle. It's so tight. But all right, just wanted to show off my boats and, you know, tell you a few things about these. If you don't want them sinking, everything in the back of both of these boats, everything back here, you want to cover with silicone. Where this rod goes through, you want to fill that with silicone. And where this tube comes through, you want to fill with silicone. All these screw holes where you think it's not going to leak, put some silicone down around here. I just put a thin bunch in there. I haven't taken this out yet, but I'm going to take this out like I did on this one. Take it out and I'm going to completely cover it with silicone and then put it back in to make it waterproof. And oh yeah, and don't forget when you put your hoods on, don't forget to put some tape on them, because these things aren't the greatest, and I've seen a lot of videos where these fall off, especially this one. I just seen a video the other day where the guy lost this one off his boat. He was lucky that he had the big one on the inside, because without that, that thing would have sank like a rock. But oh, and this stupid little port here, I always pull this up and I put silicone over top of the screw hole, and I put silicone down inside of here. Anything back here is, you know, I put silicone around here at the base, and it just keeps any water from coming in. And that's the last thing you want in these boats is water. All right, again, you guys have a good day. Look at me, I got two controllers next to each other now. All right, you guys, we'll see you.